So the French was the one that we poo-pooed. If that doesn't show you how great Australian Chardonnay is, unbelievable. What a great tasting.
Hi, today we're going to ask the question of what is Australia's favourite Chardonnay? I'm Trent and we're here on an unapologetically unprofessional, unfiltered wine journey. And we're saying here, we drink, we try, we learn and we connect. Now, Australians love Chardonnay. I love Chardonnay. Maybe you love Chardonnay, but we'll get to that later. So everyone has an opinion on what their favourite Chardonnay is. We've asked the audience. They gave us their top 5, which we're going to try today.
And what are the top 5?
The top 5 is Lewin Art Series, Geek, of course, Saboteur,
yep,
Cullen, Kevin John,
okay,
and Tall Puddle.
Okay,
makes sense.
Yep, that makes sense.
So today's episode isn't about rankings because we do that all the time. It's about doing a blind taste across the top Chardonnays and maybe a few others as well, because you being Mr. Marc Malouf, you always bring in a few more.
Yep. So if there was the top 5, I brought 4 more to throw into the mix. So we really do this blind.
Yeah.
And maybe we can knock some of those Chardonnays off the pedestal.
Yeah. And as you guys seen, to lead me on this journey of finding Australia's favourite Chardonnay, it's none other the man, the myth, the legend himself, the man with the most beautiful hair in wine. It's Mr. Marc Malouf.
Hello, everybody. Hi again. Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
We'll get to Chardonnay a bit later, but before we do that, it's been a while since we had you on the pod.
Yes.
And I do want to ask you some different icebreaker questions.
Oh, icebreakers. Okay.
So first one.
I like these.
What's been the most memorable wine of 2025?
Last year.
Last year, yeah.
Okay, that's an easy one.
What was it?
It was a 1989 Domaine de Chevalier Blanc. Yeah, that was extraordinarily good.
Well, now you said it. Why?
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 Because it had a lot of age. So I think that particular producer makes one of the most compelling and beautiful white wines on the earth. And to see something from 89 in pristine condition, it just looked incredible.
I think you mentioned this before. Does it also make a mention that you got it at such a great price as well?
Yeah, I did. I got this. I mean, I'm so sorry for the people watching that I brought it to a dinner, but I got it for under $100. No one. It's just like an auction bid, and no one bid on it.
Well, there you go. You don't need to spend the big bucks to get the good wines, right? There's value out there.
Oh my God. I was so happy. So happy. And it's extraordinary. It had just the right mix of tertiary and prime. There's still some primary fruits and florals in there, and texture was incredible. It was super mineral, long, deep, measured and elegant. Another one.
We'll bring it back to now.
Yeah, sorry. So that was it.
What's the last glass of wine that you had?
Actually, the last glass of wine I had was a tasting at my place, the Von Winning Rieslings from the Pfalz with an importer called Matt Fox. Hey, Matty, really delicious, complex wines. Interesting Riesling because they're all taken through malolactic fermentation and they're aged in oak.
Yeah.
So it was, it's an interesting, different way to view Pfalz Riesling for me.
Yeah.
But they were really, really interesting.
What is Pfalz Riesling? We don't hear about it much here, right? So
yeah, it was Germany, so German Riesling. So Von Winning's been around for quite a while, and they have a lot of really high-end Premier Cru or Grand Cru sites in the Pfalz, and they make a whole bunch of different cuvées that are just site-specific. Yeah, really interesting producer, and one to maybe put on the radar if you're into Riesling. Are you into Riesling?
I am Riesling fan as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
Especially Germanic Riesling as well.
Oh, have to be
my wife as well.
Yeah, I agree. They're the best ones. Am I alluding to my taste in white wine yet?
Not yet.
So Sauv Blanc and Riesling. Go on.
All the favourites. All the favourites. I realised I didn't ask you this one last time, but what's the biggest lesson learned on your wine journey?
That's a really interesting question. The biggest lesson is to be and remain humble and to understand that no one knows everything. The second that you assume that you do is the second you've failed.
Yeah.
You know, and I think learning is the most important part of being a wine professional, which I'm hopefully a part of. And just asking questions and being inquisitive and curious and exploring everything that constitutes the wine world from those that know more than you, which is a lot of people, and I think unfortunately there's too many drinkers out there that put all their trust and faith in these wine writers when the people they should be speaking to and asking questions of are all the winemakers.
Yeah.
Like there's an infinite resource of knowledge and so much you can learn from those people. And I'm so blessed to have such wonderful friends that are winemakers that will pull me up when I'm wrong and teach me things, and they're wonderful resources to learn.
I think that's where it's kind of great to, meet people like yourself, because sometimes it's hard to access those winemakers as well. Or you look at what's on the wine websites is very kind of one side. Obviously, they have to because they're talking about the wines.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a sales pitch, right? But I don't think there's any harm with anyone out there. If there's a wine that you love, send an email to the winemaker. They'd love it.
Yeah.
They're just like us. They're beautiful humans, and a lot of them are farmers too.
Yeah.
And especially the viticulturists. Oh my God, they're some of the most lovely people in the world.
Yeah.
Steve Faulkner, you have to come on this podcast. But yeah.
Salt of the earth people, right?
Salt of the earth people, real people that really don't have anything to gain except for doing a really good job and learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one. If you could bottle a year of your life like a vintage, what year would that be and why?
The year would be 2016 because a lot happened in that year. Tragic, but also heights. So it was the full spectrum of life. Extreme lows and incredible highs all in one. So it would be that. Yeah. It'd be nice to see the everything that year was.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel that's an emotional moment, so I won't delve into
I almost freaking cried. Great question.
Okay. This is a tricky one that I've added as well that even my wife doesn't know. It's like, what's something that you can't live without?
Cuddles.
Cuddles. From everyone. I'll give you a cuddle later.
Oh, yes, please. Just group cuddles.
Yeah. And a very Marc Malouf question. This is also a bit tricky one as well. Who's your favorite band or singer?
Ooh, I'm not going to go down the band or the singer path, but I do have a favorite musician.
So, what genre of music?
No, I don't have a favorite genre. Because I'm a musician, it's very hard for me to sort of narrow things down. But Michael Landau is a guitarist that is my ultimate inspiration as far as guitar playing goes. So whatever he does, I love.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's extraordinary.
I picked the next one for you as well, because I know you love your food as well.
Oh, yeah.
What's a piece of food that you could eat every single day of the year?
Food. I think we're looking at it.
we should bring out the rest of the loaf.
I baked a loaf quickly before I came. I was running really behind time.
Look at that.
So it should be a bit darker, but she's not bad. She's not bad. This is my sourdough.
Not bad.
She's not bad.
It's damn good.
So I think fresh made sourdough is something that I could live with every day. Can I have a piece?
Of course you can. Right, we'll just make everyone jealous as we kind of tuck into this.
That's real bread. The good part about this too, we're about to taste 9 Chardonnays. This gives us the same starting point.
Yeah.
Flavors of bread and butter in our mouth.
We were talking before about favorite grape varietals or white grape varietals. I was surprised to hear it wasn't Chardonnay. What are they?
My number one's probably Riesling. A really close second, but like really close, is Sauvignon Blanc. I think most people that reckon they love lean, crisp, mineral Chardonnay actually like Sauvignon Blanc, but they're just in denial. Sancerre is extraordinary for making complex, wonderfully elegant, pure, mineral, nuanced expressions of Sauv Blanc. Can you tell I love Sauv Blanc?
What happens if I say I like New Zealand Sauv Blanc?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, easy, smashable.
Does it say something about you, though? Does wine say something about you?
No, it just says more about what you enjoy and your preferences. I also love good Pinot Gris, good Chenin Blanc, and I think I like all of those before good Chardonnay.
So it's about 5th or 6th on the list.
Yeah. I just find Chardonnay to be boring. I think unless you have an exceptional site or you're an exceptional winemaker and you have a combination of the two, you can't really make compelling Chardonnay. But when the site's right and when the winemaker is fantastic and you have that perfect combination between both, it's a very compelling drink.
Hopefully we've got some compelling Chardonnays
Well, that's
today.
what I'm hoping too. I'm sure we do. We have, the greats of Australia.
Yeah.
And maybe something from Burgundy.
And I said
From a great.
And I said the focus is Australia's favorite Chardonnay. What do you think is Australian Chardonnay? Is there an identity in Australian Chardonnay?
Following on with what I just said, I think there's a very broad spectrum of what Australian Chardonnay is. If we look at the big hitters like Giaconda and Lewin and those people that do have a fingerprint of winemaking style, that's what Chardonnay is in Australia. If we look at someone like Mac Forbes, who is very, very driven to make site-specific expressions where there is no fingerprint of the winemaker, if possible. That's a very different style of Chardonnay. So there's two very big extremes, right? And then there's all that matter in between. So I think what Australian Chardonnay is diverse. I do think there's a follow-through or a thread that runs through all the Chardonnays, which is the Australian climate. So we get fruit, which is really lovely. Compare that to somewhere like Chablis or the Macon or Burgundy. I feel that those wines are more dominant in their mineral qualities and expressing that than Australia is. But obviously in Australia, there's ways to bring out that mineral complexity. So that's still there, but I think fruit takes the center stage in Australian Chardonnay.
Do you think Australian Chardonnay is just different, or is there a ranking of where you see Australian Chardonnay at the moment? Is it
the ranking compared to
quality? Let's say
quality is sky high.
Napa or something like that, or
well, let's be honest. The varieties that Australia does best, Chardonnay is absolutely one of them. So yeah, I think the quality of Australian Chardonnay is extraordinary.
So I guess today we're going to be taking a different approach to finding Australia's best Chardonnay across favourite Chardonnay.
But we've already found that. You've already found that.
Yeah.
So you've found the 5.
Yes. And now we're going to do a bit of a this versus that blind to understand which one is our favourite across the lineup of 9, which includes your wild cards that you introduced as well.
So basically, we're not going to know what we're tasting. For example, we have 2 wines in front of us. We don't know what these are in the lineup of 9. And I think what we do, we go through them, we speak about them, because obviously these are all very high quality wines.
I was chatting to you early in the week as well, and you were quite excited. Why were you excited, given that Chardonnay is not up there in terms of your favourite grape variety?
Because I've only tasted the Giaconda and one of the other wild cards. Everything else I have not tasted before.
So it's a true blind.
This is a true blind for me. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think these winemakers know who I am, so they don't send them over. But it's nice to have a look at all this stuff. And let's preface something. I think before we start, it's important to acknowledge that these are all from the 2023 vintage. Now, 2023 is very young. So we're going to be looking at these wines that should really have a good few years under their belts, just chilling out in the cellar. But that's okay. We've double decanted them. We've left the corks and the screws off. For what did you do, an hour?
Since decanted 12 o'clock, double decanted 12 o'clock, left it for an hour, put a screw caps back on, 1 o'clock back in the wine fridge.
We are so good at making plans. Yes, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, okay.
And these should all be at the same temperature too.
Yeah.
We both just had bread and butter. Our palates are aligned.
I'm going to just go make one correction to what you said.
Oh no.
There was one of the wines is a 2024. See whether you can pick it.
Oh my God.
Whether you can pick that or not.
Okay.
Whether you pick that or not. So in terms of judging or assessing Chardonnay, is it any different to any other wine? What should we be looking for in terms of what is a good Chardonnay versus a great Chardonnay versus a mediocre Chardonnay?
Well, let's just talk about it in the context of wine.
Yeah.
What makes a good wine? I think great wine has balance. It's harmonious. All the components of acid, fruit, mineral complexity, oak, it all has to sort of sing together in some way. Sure, there can be some bias towards one or the other, but it can't be jarring. Length is important to me. I look for something that has really lovely length, and shape is very important for Chardonnay, but also something compelling. Like we want something to capture us when we taste it. Because I think if we're parting with a fair bit of money, which all these wines are quite expensive in the grand scheme of things, it's nice to know that there's more than just Chardonnay in the glass.
I'm going to delve into that. When you say like compelling, what exactly is it? Like people can just go throw a lot of oak at it, expensive oak at it, and go, hey, there's a lot of
That's
oak
fine.
that's compelling.
Yep, that's fine. So I think if we talk about a painter, what medium are they using? Are they using oils, pastels, watercolors? So that's kind of the canvas that I think Chardonnay is like. And so compelling is how they use those different mediums to bring out complexity, interest, and capture us, I think. Yeah. Or if it's the opposite, I have done nothing, but I want to capture the place because the place is compelling from the winemaker's point of view. So is it coming across to us as well, or do we think it's lacking?
Yeah.
So those sorts of things I think we have to think about. Is the oak too overwhelming?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm keen to get started.
Me too.
Let's do this. So again, for the audience, we have absolutely no idea what's what. It's been poured blind for us. There's just purely 2 glasses in front of us. And we're just going to assess it on which one we prefer. We're going to go with the one that we prefer and then have that one go against the next one and so on and so forth until we've gone through all the 9 Chardonnays.
And you know what I think would... Oh, there's 8
Chardonnays.
Oh, sorry. So there's 8 Chardonnays. What would be interesting if we come up with 2 different wines as our finalists for what our preferences are. I mean, what we say doesn't matter. It's just what we are naturally drawn to.
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see where we end up if it's the same.
Okay.
It'd be pretty crazy if we're the same. But
let's go. Round one.
Done. Oh, pretty. Perfumed.
Oh, so different. Oh
Wow.
my God.
Okay, so I'm getting a lot of florals and sweet fruits, white stone fruit on wine A. Wine B is a bit more muted. This is the oak in this one's a little bit woody for me.
A is slightly reductive, a lot more brighter freshness to it. The B one feels kind of like more like sweeter honey type of.
Nice, really nice fruit profile on that. That's lovely. I mean, for me,
a bit
B,
bit duller.
It's almost like a champagne base. Like it's really lean.
A bit more texture, a bit more viscosity. It doesn't really have the sharpness of the first one. I think I made my choice.
Me too. A wins for me.
Likewise.
Okay.
Pour this one.
B's got lovely length though. B's got incredible length. Isn't that interesting? So these are 2 different styles. This one's probably more pretty and elegant. That one was quite austere and mineral driven. And for me, that smelt like champagne base, like really lean. But on the palate, that's got incredible sustain and drive.
On the B smell brighter, ripened, kind of richer fruits on it. But then on the finish, it has this
incredible.
It has this kind of
shit. I'm excited to see what that one was.
It has this kind of like I don't know. I know it's not 7B, but a slight hint of like grass on it as well.
Yeah.
On the finish.
Yeah.
So when we're preparing these wines, you're quite specific on double decant, leave it out for an hour, put the caps back on, put back in the wine fridge. Why all that?
I think it's important to give wines enough time to shine. Popping and pouring achieves nothing with great wine. So at least we've given them a good decant, so they've seen oxygen, and we've let them sort of slowly breathe for an hour. So really, if someone's wants to open a 23 or a 24 wine early, then this is probably the way to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's go again.
B.
Interesting.
Oh, the B one always smells so different to the A one.
Yeah. So which one? Yeah, the winner is B. The power, the intensity, the line, the length, the phenolics, where it grips. That's a lovely wine.
Ooh, I think I know what it is.
Do you?
I think I do.
Okay. So pouring out A.
I hate to pour out such a good wine, man.
We're professionals. This is what we do. By the way, what are we going to do with all these bottles when we finish with them?
Have a party.
Hello, B. You're looking mighty fine there, B.
This is what I think of as like a kind of Grand Cru type of
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't sway us. It just doesn't matter what it is. We're going to get through the end and go, okay, this is the winner. But that's lovely. It's still long, and the acid's really beautifully integrated with the fruit, even though it's quite high. Lovely.
It's like
I mean, it's a little bit hollow in the middle, but I think that's going to close up with
time, age. Yeah.
Because there's
air, maybe.
No, maybe. I think it needs a bit of a slower process. All right, next.
This looks. Oh,
that's pretty. Oh, that's a really pretty Chardonnay.
I actually thought it looked really a lot paler.
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah.
But that's so floral. There's melon,
Mm.
white florals, honeysuckle,
It's very,
jasmine.
it gets very subjective though, right? When you look at these wines, like one's like bigger, bolder, full, one's more pretty.
Okay. What you just said is interesting. Of course it's subjective because our job now is not to choose what's the best wine. It's what's our preference. Because there's nothing so far that's been bad. That's really pretty.
Oh.
That's a really pretty wine. So now this is getting tough now. This is getting tough.
You know, it's like when you have, it's not being sexist, but it's like you could have like the supermodel or you can have the voluptuous Italian. Like they're both beautiful.
That's a Ferrari.
In their way.
That's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
This one's just like perfect lines.
Perfect lines, it is.
Hi. Are you single?
Both beautiful wines. Oh, this is hard.
Yum. Really lovely oak in that too. I think I'm going to go with A because of the elegance and the seamlessness that has. Slightly lifted, touch saline too.
Splitting hairs, man.
I know.
Splitting hairs.
This is probably not fair for whatever wine misses out, sadly.
Oh.
What would I like to drink again? Right now, I'd probably say A just because it's a little bit more seamless.
Yeah.
Whereas B, I'd love to revisit with time.
B feels
at its peak.
Yeah, not at its peak, but it feels like it's, for me, it feels a bit bigger, like it could go well with food.
Yeah.
Whereas this one is a lot more fresher, brighter, prettier, that it could have by itself.
It's simpler but harmonious.
Yes.
Right? Okay, do we want some?
Oh.
That's good. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna make a decision. Wait, I'm just gonna
don't we have to do it at the same time, don't sway each other, okay?
Okay.
Which one would I go back to? Which one would I go back to? Which one would I want to drink more of?
This is unfair. I mean, A is just so seductively beautiful, right?
You know what it is, right? After having B, which is a bit more, bigger, bolder, this one just kind of like freshens it up. And it's like, whoa, here I am.
For that reason, I'm going to stick with B. Just because I think it's more compelling. Even though A is gorgeous.
It is.
There's something about B where that power and that drive and the intensity.
Don't let what you think it is to guide you. It's purely based on...
Well, I don't even know what it is. I don't know what any of these is.
Or what you think it is.
But this is something that I would buy and put in my cellar to see how it looks in 5 years. Does that make sense? So if I'm looking for something compelling, that's probably more compelling. Even though that's drinking so beautifully. It's such a pretty wine.
This is like a pretty hard bracket to look at.
Oh my God. Any other day, I'll take both, please. But we've got to do this just for the fun of the exercise.
Okay, just for the fun of exercise, I'm going to go different to you.
Yes!
I'm going to go A.
Okay. How good is this?
Oh.
You know what what changed my mind? The finish on A, it gets worse. The other one does not. It's steady. So B gets a little bit A gets a little bit saline, and then the oak kind of pokes out a little bit in a weird gingery kind of way.
Oh, that smells gorgeous.
Yeah, B's compelling. Very good.
It's a difference, like a wine that you drink now versus the wine that you will cellar as well, though, right?
Well, I mean, maybe we'll take a mental snapshot, but I'm choosing the wines that personally I would buy.
It's compelling means that you'll want to age and see. Okay. Yeah.
Like I'd part with my money for. All right, here we go. Next one.
Now our A's and B's are mixed now. So
we're in reductive heaven now.
Ooh.
Beechworth, anyone?
Does it blow off? It definitely is that kind of a sulfur, kind of rotten egg smell. More rotten egg at the moment than flintiness. Interesting. You said reductiveness. What is reductiveness? Why do we have reductiveness?
So that reductive quality there, which smells like curry leaf / burnt popcorn, that comes from a mix of things. So it's winemaking influence, and there is some vineyard influence as well. It's a thumbprint of a winemaker, so they can choose to make their wines have that sulphide-y aroma and smell. Do I think it's out of whack? No, because of the palate. I mean, that's intense. That's so spicy. That is so long. That is so detailed. That is so complex. This is a compelling wine for sure.
But a winemaker's compelling wine then, is it? Because you said that it's a winemaker's thumbprint.
Yes, this has more of a winemaker's fingerprint. Yeah. There's a pineapple quality in B for me. That's probably not the nice, but it's got this pistachio finish, which is really yummy.
You know what?
It's tricky.
Yeah. I don't like the smell of it, to be honest.
The reductive thing.
Yeah. Hits you. And smell's a big part of it for me.
Yeah, it is. Shit, that's a lovely wine. No, I don't want to choose.
But the palate is better than the...
The palate's extraordinary.
I know what I'm picking. I'm going to go for A again, purely because the nose on it didn't agree with me.
Okay.
But the palate was...
Oh, this is really hard for me now. These are very different wines. I think we need to, especially what I have in my glass, these are very different wines. Yeah. So to choose it's kind of like choosing
your favorite daughter.
Well, your friend's favorite daughter. You know what I mean? Like there's no relation to these two.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to stick with both? And then maybe have a top three? Or top
You're just
two?
Changing the rules.
It's so hard to pick between them.
What makes each compelling and which one more kind of agrees with you?
There's incredible complexity in A. Yes, there's a reductive nature to the winemaking, but there's something very harmonious about this wine. And it's so long. I haven't had a sip for ages. I can still taste it. It hasn't gone anywhere.
It's definitely got energy and just...
It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
This is like a bit brutish compared to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with A just because I think it's just stunning.
On to the next one.
All right. I think I made the right decision.
Yeah.
I think I made the right decision because I'm fascinated by what the other one was just because it was just like,
given that 7 of the 8 are Australian Chardonnays, it makes you realise how
good,
how bloody great Australian Chardonnay is. Yeah.
But there's something about this that's extraordinary. And you know what's different about this wine?
What?
Everything. It's a completely different wine to what we've had.
And you like different because you are a wine geek though, right?
I am, but at the same time, not for different sake. It's got to tell a story. And I think that really does tell a story.
But to my point, sometimes that reductiveness is a bit too much.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Let's do this.
Oh, wow.
Woof. Has those reductive notes as well.
Yeah, so I'm lucky because I've got 2 of the same kind of wines.
You know the A now, it comes like pineapple coming through on it.
Interesting. B is a lot more fennel inflected. Can you taste that fennel?
Like this one didn't go as hard on the reductiveness as the previous one.
Correct.
But then it doesn't have the same kind of energy as the previous one as well.
May I get a refill of my A? So this is pretty good.
This is a tough one, actually. How do you think this one is different to the previous one?
This is turned up. The volume's turned up.
Do you think it's
a lot more spicy? A lot more ginger.
I prefer this one to the previous one.
Yep.
Like this one, it's a much harder choice between A and B. The other one felt a bit too much for me.
Wow. I'm going to stick with A.
I think
it's intense. After all those Chardonnays, I find the new pour is quite intense.
I'm going to go for the new pour.
Yes.
Do you think it matters which order you have them in? Like the A or the B or the B to the A?
Yeah, for sure.
It does, right?
So we're being steered, whether we like it or not, from what happened before. So this sequence is obviously going to change a lot of the outcome.
It's kind of like light and dark sometimes, and it feels like you have like the dark first and then you have the light. And it's like, oh, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
Depends what type of person you are.
Yeah. It's interesting. I love this. I'm so excited to see which wine we've chosen as our winners.
How bloody good is Australian Chardonnay? Oh, okay. So A's the new one for me. Okay.
It's a no for me for B.
Why is it a no?
It's not as compelling. It's not as
using
nuanced.
a compelling word or not a lot.
Yeah, I find that a bit flat.
Could be the French one.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with B.
Final one.
It's completely different.
Final round. Fight.
Did you used to play Street Fighter? Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Who was your player?
Of course.
Ryu.
Yeah, he's the best.
But you got the hair. I thought you'd be like a... Who is it? Who do you look at? Who has the long hair? Zangief? No.
What's his name?
Not Ken.
Ken?
Ken?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
The guy in the white.
Yeah.
Final round.
Fight. Okay. This could be the final winner.
Yep.
Final winner.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Here we go. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting wine. That's like verbena, like almost lemongrass. This is different. This is a different wine.
Different as in French different is what you're saying.
Wow. That's an interesting wine. That's very different to what we've tasted before. This has got way more of a citrus drive to it.
Mm.
This is almost like yuzu and mandarin.
Mm.
Yeah. There's so many different styles of Chardonnay here.
I made my pick. Winner. Oh, this is a trick one.
Do you want to revisit something?
You could revisit one of them.
Oh, that is a lovely one.
But I say it is so different. It's prettier, but it's less intense than some of the other ones.
That's a lovely.
But do you like intensity?
Of course, but it's got to be all in balance, right? I think those two are probably my favorites out of the bunch. Can we choose two each that we think?
Do you want to revisit any of them?
No, I do not.
It's been too hard.
I think I'm broken. But that was very cool.
Oh.
I really like B. I think it's a lovely, lovely wine. It's got great focus and it's got a story that's uninterrupted. Really lovely shape in the mouth too.
I feel with that one, it's a wine geek's wine.
Yeah.
You have to concentrate a bit more on it to actually really appreciate it.
Oh my God, that's a good wine.
I'm going to stick to my B. I think.
Wow. Do I have to choose one of the other?
You got to pick one. You got to pick one.
Okay. Well, as much as I love B, I think A is still the one that I'd like to be drinking.
Okay. So we'll bring the winner of each as in the sleeve thing across, and then we'll do the reveal.
All right. I love B though. Okay. Out of this whole lineup, probably the last pour that I rejected is my least favorite. Otherwise, everything was pretty freaking awesome.
Let's just hope that the last one was in the French one and all those strains are absolutely amazing.
Let's. What a great outcome. What a great outcome for Australian Chardonnay.
So this is your one, and this is my one.
Much.
You go your one first.
Oh, I got Saboteur. Woohoo! Wow, I'm so happy with that.
Does it surprise you?
No, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But
you haven't had it before.
No, I've not had the Saboteur 23 before.
Wow.
I'm so happy that that's the outcome. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So let's just hold it up to the cameras. So I think it's undeniable. Beechworth wins.
Oh my God.
Beechworth wins.
How cool is that? How cool is that?
Beechworth won.
Oh my God.
And can I ask for some reveals? Can we have the final wine, please? Because that was my second favorite. Toll Puddle.
Oh, Toll Puddle.
Great. I'm happy with that. I thought that was the Toll Puddle.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one that I was tossing up?
You really, really liked
the Paris. The wild card. There you go. So that was the one that was like firm and...
Yes. It's very Bruce.
Yeah.
You said it. It was like...
There you go.
What was the really reductive one then? Was it the really reductive? Saboteur. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
So what were your top three wines? Do you like
what was the
second
one?
one?
Was in the second one? In the second one we were trying to...
The Lewin.
Oh, the Lewin. Oh.
I was not expecting that.
The Lewin.
Wow.
There we go.
And then what was the next favorite?
I did like the Toll Puddle as well.
That's it. That's the top five.
Top five.
That's the top five.
It is Australia's favourite Chardonnay.
So which one didn't go very well? So the French was the one that we poo-pooed. If that doesn't show you how great Australian Chardonnay is, unbelievable. What a great tasting.
Fantastic. So we had, let's just go through the regions. So we had the Tassie, Margaret River, Beechworth
and Margaret River. So two Margaret Rivers, two Beechworth, and one Tassie. That is a pretty cool outcome. I think that's very fair.
Yeah,
because
here's a controversial one. Right? Of the top five, we didn't have some of the other regions in there.
Yeah,
there's no Adelaide Hills. There's no Yarra Valley. Is that saying something?
I think it's saying the obvious. No. I think there wasn't anything that I would deem to be a subpar wine, apart from the second last pour, which ended up being French.
Yeah.
It was a La Flave.
Yeah.
So if that's not testament to how great Australian wine is, I don't know what is. And we had Yarra Valley represented. And when was the Yarra Valley put in?
Yarra went in first round.
Well, that was one of the hard rounds too.
Oh,
So that just goes to show it was just a preference thing for us because that was a hard start.
Wow. So
very good.
The audience got it right in most cases, right? In terms of the top 5.
And I have to say, there's one wine missing from this top 5 that I'm not surprised is missing from this top 5.
Because it's unknown, or?
No. Just because it's strange that it gets hyped up so much, I think, which is interesting. But that's great.
Okay.
And it's funny because when we had the Beechworths next door to each other, that was confronting.
Yeah. Is that a thumbprint? Why is Beechworth always has that kind of reductive element to it? Because
it's not all of Beechworth. It's just these two producers. Right? So it's interesting. Today, normally I'd choose a Gioconda probably over a Savater if I don't know. Like I've always sort of leaned towards Gioconda.
Yeah.
But today that felt a bit more aggressive. Like the spice was too heightened.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because we tasted such delicate wines all the way through.
Yeah. And that's what I said before, is it depends on what you had prior to the influences your taste.
Yeah, but there was no denying. I mean, those two wines next to each other was so fun. Like that was mad.
Oh, any last thoughts across this?
I'm so happy with that final lineup.
Yeah.
I think if anyone bought any of these wines, that's a win. Like awesome. And actually, the Toll Puddle surprised me. I thought that was a really lovely story captured in that wine. That was very, very good.
What I love is that we've covered across from like the East Coast to the West Coast and even down south to Tassie as well. So the whole spectrum of Australia we've kind of covered that has cracking Australian Chardonnays that's up there and beating the Le Fleuve Chardonnays in France. So don't need to go overseas, right? You can go at our doorstep and taste some of these.
Absolutely. And we should be buying Australian wines.
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
Fantastic.
Very, very good. What a tasting.
I guess that's where we'll wrap up. I think, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr.
Thanks for putting this on, and thank you for everyone that voted for these. It was so nice to try these together.
I think some, if not all of these wines, you also can get out on iHeartWine.com.
Yeah, sure.
If not, reach out to Marc Malouf on what's your Instagram tag?
Wine Worth Writing About.
Wine Worth Writing.
Yeah, Wine Worth Writing.
Reach out to him. He can also be a shepherd as well, and also just try out these wines as well, and let us know what has been your favorite Australian Chardonnay. On that note, we'll wrap up. As I say here, we drink, we try, we learn, and we connect. Thank you very much again. Thank you all.
See you later.